A great week of work out in Los Angeles for the New Orleans Saints is capped off by their first preseason victory of the year. 19-17, the final. Saints defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. It is the New Orleans Saints game recap here on CST. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier. JD, definitely a tale of two halves. After a strong start by the Saints defense, the Chargers basically took over, scored the final 17 points of the half, then didn't score again. The New Orleans Saints got to 19. The field goal by Will Lutz was the game winner with 1 minute, 5 seconds as the Saints shut out the Chargers defensively.
Thank goodness for two halves, because that first half, offensively especially, was not anything that the Saints will like or would be proud of. A lot of corrections need to be made off that first half, especially when you've got your number one offense out there, as it were. Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, no Teron Armstead at left tackle, but still you hope to see more efficiency than what the Saints were able to produce in that first half. A couple of turnovers, costly, couldn't move the football very well, some penalties that were costly. And so those are things that, again, correctable errors, but things you don't want to see on the football field, especially when they're things that you don't feel like should happen. And the Saints aren't going to be happy about them.
Yeah, one of those things. Also, a punt return for a touchdown with just 3 seconds left in half to put the Chargers up 17-3. Obviously, that has to get cleaned up.
Yeah, you want to get the guy on the ground. I mean, that's the main thing. Get the guy on the ground, and a couple of guys whiffed on him, and it winds up being 6 for going the other way. And again, a special teams error that you don't want to see. I thought it was a fabulous punt by Thomas Morstead, a good cover punt, but they didn't get him on the ground, and that's the main thing. And so they're going to be really, really unsettled about some of the things that they saw.
Well, you fast forward to the second half, and the best player on the field was New Orleans Saints quarterback Taysom Hill, who threw 2 touchdown passes. He led the team in rushing. He electrified the crowd here with his long 23-yard run to set the Saints up for a touchdown. And Taysom, I tell you, he was very sharp. He looked like a quarterback out there.
Graff the dude, he's built like a superhero.
Yep.
I mean, and he played like it in that second half. Really carried the offense, even when the offensive line breaks down. He's the guy who can move around, get outside the pocket, and either he can throw it or he can run it. And you like him in either one of those situations right now. Probably a little bit more comfortable running it once he breaks the contain than he is throwing it right now, but he certainly did some great things in that second half. The touchdown throws, especially the one to Austin Carr, is what you want to see from your quarterback. And the runs, you mentioned the long run, but it's all the things that he does to give you energy, just his presence. You feel like you have a chance, and that's the epitome of what you want in your quarterback.
Well, you throw on top of that the Saints trailing 17-16, and he takes you on the game-winning drive. So he did it all today, as again, Will Lutz completed the comeback with the 28-yard field goal, 1:05 to go. Let's go to the locker room and hear from head coach Sean Payton, who addressed the media.
You know, I told our players after that game, I felt like it was obviously 2 different halves. A lot of things that were frustrating, discouraging, things that we're going to have to clean up when we watch the tape tomorrow. And then some things that were more encouraging in the second half. So by no means is it a game you come away from and feel like, man, you're ready for the regular season to start. We've got a lot of work still to do. So I thought we played pretty good defense early in the game. I thought offensively we were awful.